Cheekay, could you tell us a bit about your work on the Rapid Response Network?
Well, currently we're trying to revamp the Rapid Response Network.
This is APC.
This is APC, yeah. Well, specifically the Strategic Use Program.
Yeah.
The revamp, we're hoping to kind of expand
Yeah.
the the reach of the network, and also to kind of address some technical issues that perhaps the first version of the Rapid Response Network was not able to address. Like,
What's it basically to someone who doesn't know it at
yeah,
all?
basically it's a system and a network of people and machines that rescue sites that have been blocked by governments and corporations.
Yeah.
There's also a strong advocacy component to it, in the sense that we will try to raise awareness around the issues of online censorship, and also like try to raise awareness on the issues of the sites that have been blocked. You know, like what issues do they carry?
How serious is this problem as of now, sites being blocked?
It's serious. It's becoming governments are becoming very smarter, much smarter about blocking sites. Governments and corporations actually.
Yeah.
So, like the Open Net initiative, which is a research around online censorship. The findings of the research so far has been very, very daunting and scary, because there has been an increase in online censorship and surveillance and like privacy, violations of privacy online.
So you all are going to help to actually rescue these sites which have been blocked?
Yes. Originally, the Rapid Response Network rescued sites by mirroring them.
Yeah.
We're still trying to follow the same model, but then in the time of the first Rapid Response Network, it was mostly static websites. So like the technical
Challenges were less.
were less. Now that we're moving into like where there's Web 2.0, and websites are generally, content driven and dynamic, there will be more technical challenges as far as
So who are the partners who are involved in this, and what are the kind of skills that go into it?
Currently, a lot of APC members are working on it, like Grant from APCA in Australia, or Maxigas from Hungary, and Marek from GreenNet in the UK, and Julian from Colnodo. They've all kind of helped us write up the project proposal, and they're still helping us do
Yeah.
that. So
As far as some prominent examples go, could you tell us about, sites getting blocked and why? And
for instance, the Burmese, like the sites around human rights situations in Burma are continuously and consistently been blocked, and also put down, like through denial of service attacks by the government in Burma. So that's one like very kind of stark example of online censorship. But also like in most countries, like websites on, say, sexuality, like specifically gay, lesbian, transsexual and stuff like that, issues have been totally blocked. So like I met this woman from Iran who runs a lesbian, a network of lesbian women in Iran, and their website is consistently being blocked, and actually not just blocked, yeah, attacked.
yeah.
So yeah.
Who are the allies in such a campaign? I mean, Free Speech Initiative, People, Free Software. Who would you list as the potential allies?
Well, there are a few. There are a few techies who are kind of ad hocly serving, like supporting these sites. So we kind of want them to be partners in this project, and also organizations like, say, Tactical Tech, that do direct training work with different movements. This could be this could augment the work that they do as well. This is a service that we can provide for those that they work with. And also, research arms like the OpenNet Initiative is also a potential partner because they already have the data and the trends, and the Rapid Response Network will have to respond to the data and the trend that they gather.
Would you see yourself as a techie, and if so, how did you become one?
Yeah, I do see myself as like I'm more on the techie side of things, and it's all self-taught. I'm not, well, aside from like early web development stuff, everything else has been learned on the job and on the go.
So during all this learning, which was your most kind of exciting experience?
Um, hmm. Interestingly, open source, like free software,
Yeah.
has been it's been pretty much life changing and like mind blowing, and it really changed the way I look at technology. As something more than a tool, as something more than something that you buy and use. But it's something that you actually think about in political terms. So that's yeah, I think that would be the most exciting thing. Yeah.
Could you introduce APC and your role in it?
Yeah. The Association for Progressive Communications is a network, and it's also an organization. It's a network of organizations working along issues of internet issues of information and communication technologies. Originally, its membership consisted of like internet service providers for civil society.
Alternative ISPs.
Yeah. And now it's expanded. Its membership has expanded to groups that are working on ICT policy issues, and groups that do capacity building on ICTs. And so it's also an organization in the sense that we have about 20 staff members
Nice.
that run different programs. So like there's a communication, information, and policy program. There's a women's networking support program, and there's a strategic use program, which is where I belong currently. And that program has to do. We work with technology more than the other programs, and we also provide support for the APC membership. So.
In the Philippines, which is the most exciting ICT project or program, most impactful one that you, in your point of view?
The OFW SOS.
Overseas.
Yeah, overseas foreign workers, overseas Filipino workers SOS
I see.
system, which is it seeks to use mobile phones as a way to rescue overseas Filipino workers who are under threat of violence and human rights violations and stuff like that. And I think it's quite, the way they've done it has been very great. Like they receive calls for help almost regularly, which means they've been able to, without any outside funding, they've been able to run and maintain a system and to actually promote it to those that need it the most. So I think it's quite admirable, and it's got a lot of potential.
One last question. As far as women and technology go, is the gap reducing? Is it growing? Where do you see the trend?
I don't know if the gap is reducing, but I think that the change is that there's less debate about gender issues in technology. I mean, when I started working on this 10 years ago, and
Which is a good thing or a bad thing?
it's a good thing in the sense that it's no longer it's becoming much rarer to have to defend the fact that there could be and there are gender issues in technology. And 10 years ago, that was completely how could gender and technology be put in one sentence together, because they have nothing to do with each other. Now I think
It's a given.
collectively it's become more
Acceptable.
yeah, accepted, and it's a given. It's become a given. And it kind of it's reflected in say policy issues as well. In the World Summit on Information Society, there was successful lobbying as far as making sure that the gender language was included. And more organizations are working on building capacity of women in technology. So yeah, on one hand there's growth. On the other hand, when you're talking about women who don't have access to basic needs and services, I don't think there's been a lot of growth as far as their access to technology, which is, ultimately what we want to work for.
Thank you so much for your time and the explanations.